Right, we're going to try and do a quick, no waffle guide of how to change your actuator on your Land Rover Discovery 3, Discovery 4. It is relatively straightforward. In fact, I'd say it's quite easy, isn't it, Tyler? Yeah. You could do this yourself. You do not need to pay anyone to do this. What do you need to do the job? You need a new actuator, one of those. And we'll have a look at that in a minute. And then if you're super duper keen, you could buy a new sticky, plasticky, dust shieldy bit. Right, okay, let's get going, Tyler. Right, these are the tools you'll need. It's not extensive. We'll go through them as we use them. Right, have I got my microphone on? Yeah. Yes. Right, we need that, and then we're going to need Phillips screwdriver. You have 4 little fixings here, coloured orange. Yours won't be. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a little plastic cover cap, and you have to get a little screwdriver in, and you sort of pop them off. They're playing everywhere. There you go. So you've got the little cap there. And then if you remove that, it exposes a Phillips crosshead screwdriver thing. You wind that out, and you will get out 4 screws. We will do those now. Right, you're now ready. You can now lift this, and this bit lifts up. There you go. You can pull it down if you want, and you can pull this bit off. Now, there are some clips on it, and they may pling up. There may be some little bits that pling off. There you go, on cue. Right, so there are a series of these 4 clips, like so, and they should be fitted over the plastic here. There's a little rib on the plastic, and where's this one come from? He's come from there, so put him back. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go on you go. Right, and they line up so that as you screw in through there, they pass through the holes on the tailgate. Right, you've also got these 2 clips, 1 clip there, 1 clip there, and when you put those back on, make sure they line up with the corresponding holes there. Right, notice the switch rubbery bit comes out there, look, so you don't have to disconnect any switch. That is that bit done. Right, the next bit we need to take out is this carpety panel bit, but that is held in by these straps. Now, we did another video, and we will do another video, but on the last video, we disconnected these straps, which you can do, but someone said to me, Simon, don't disconnect the straps, just use a spanner, and I'll explain why. If you can get one in there, it's quite tricky to get in there, isn't it, Tyler? You need quite a thin spanner. I reckon that's quite tricky. You managed to do it, oh, there you go. That's it. A thin spanner, this is a bit of a, we've got some thinner ones there. So what size spanner are we using, Tyler? 13. Unlucky for some. Been to the bingo lately, Tyler? No. Never been to the bingo. We'll have to have a company bingo night out. Right. Now you can wiggle that out. Right, we will get on and, oh yeah, Tyler, take the pressure off me, Tyler. Now, it's a bit of a fiddle, and you could disconnect but if you're a DIYer, those clips are quite fiddly sometimes, aren't they? Now, the advantage of doing this, sorry, I forgot who told me this was a good tip, is that with the thing on, they won't disappear back. If you decide to disconnect the metal clip here, tie it in a knot, otherwise they will vanish into the ether inside there. Right, so we've done one, we will do the same on the other and come back. Right, so with that off, you have to be careful now because you now have no limit stops, those bits of wire were your limit stop. So you really, if you love your car, like we love ours, you want a bit of foam or something because you'll be resting on that and you don't want to damage your paintwork. Right, so this should now disconnect, shouldn't it, Tyler? That should go there. Right. Trim tool, let's try, yeah, they will be fierce. If you get some sort of trim tool in it and lever this up, ours has been off a few times. And then there's some at the bottom as well, aren't there? Yeah. There we go. Oh, there should be. Right then. So you see, you have a series of these clips here in these locations. So yours will be harder. I am not incredibly strong. They've just been off lots of times. So there we go. That lifts straight up. Boosh. Right. Now what this exposes is lots of delightful things. Now this speaker, subwoofer indeed. Right, now you can remove all of this if you're going to replace it with a new one. And the idea of this is to keep the dust off the actuator and stuff. So it is a good idea, or you could just use gaffer tape to fix it. But the 2 fixings you're trying to find, you can stab around and find them, but we'll, for ease of the video, we'll just rip all this off, shall we, Tyler? It is quite, it's, we're going to rip all this off, but you can or cannot. Right then, and it will reveal the actuator. So let's have a quick lesson. So the actuator sits here. It's held in with these 2 bolts, not coloured orange. We'll slip in, Tyler, look. Right, and they are, you only need to loosen those, and we'll do that, and slip them back into this bigger hole. It has a cable that comes up here to the lock, which is somewhere. Where's the lock gone, Tyler? There. Right, right. There's a, and it has a connector plugged on to the end of it. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to unplug the connector. So come in this side, and there is, on the top of the connector, you'll see, but it's on the top, you've got a little press button. So you need to get your hand in here. It was on the top when it's on. I'm on the bottom. I'm lying, you will feel it.
Sort of on the top, but on the bottom.
Yes, yes. So you will feel this little push tab here, and you will feel that, and it's on the bottom, so it's like that, and then that will release a little tab, and you can extract the connector. We have disconnected. Then you need to get which size socket, Tyler? 10mm socket.
Am I right? Or is it 8?
I think it might be 8.
It's 8.
It's 8. Oh, right then. Right, and then you've got to just loosen those 2. And then on a slot, you will see that they move. Woo. And I can wiggle this now, look. And then this will just come out. Pop, 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 pop. Right, and then you can push it back that way. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Go on. I think it should extraction it, Tyler. Am I making it look difficult? There you go. We're out. Right, and there you start to see our actuator. Right. So we can now, what we now need to do is disconnect this cable from the actuator. When you get the actuator, let's take a look at the actuator. So have you got the part number there, Tyler? Part number. There you go. FUG 5010. He's what you need. And he will look like this. Right, and we got the small, we need to remove this cover. That one. Right, and what size is that? We'll have a look. That is a Torx T10. No.
Brute strength.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have a look what joys we have in here. Because we have to work out how to detach and reconnect the cable. Now, right, so there it is. And this is the little that's where the connector goes. It comes with 2 new mounting bolts with some sort of thread lock stuff on them. So we're pretty good there. Right, so what we have to do is disconnect the cable from here and here. Right, so let's have a look at the other one. We can, but we need to disconnect this cable. We could, yeah, you could take that out there, but we don't need those screws, do we, Tyler? Right, remove the cover. Right, and there you can see, but it's joined to this cable here. Now, this cable, on the end of this cable, you will see it has like a little L. How's my puppet? It has like a little L that goes in, and we need to extract it and take the cable out. So let's get that nice small screwdriver you had earlier, Tyler. Right then, so you can see, it's quite tricky this one, but from that angle you can see that there's like a spring formed by these 2 plastic arches, and it's this sort of slug here is held underneath, so we need to push this slug up, and then this pin should come up. So I think if I can get under here and try and force this upwards, go on, go on. Oh, there. So you can see that extracts up, and that. So now that's nearly done. Now this cable end is held in. There's a little groove in the cable, and we have to pull the. And it's quite hard, this bit. Right, let's have a go. Maybe a bit of leverage will. Well, I'd stab my own wrist, Tyler. Right, we're going to have to go have another go at this. It's quite hard to get this bit, pull it out this way. How am I going to do that? Right, I'm trying this. Got a bit of wood resting on the cable there, and I'm just going to try and tap that bit of metal down there. Oh, there you go. That is the way. So you can see that's the shape that just holds that cable in. Now we don't need that, do we? He's gone. Right, so we get our new actuator. This is the same. Now what we are going to do, I will discuss, we are going to put an extra cable tie on, Tyler. So you can see we've got the hole here. Now we've got a, this is upside down at the moment. We can rotate that round, I think, can't we? Yeah. And that hole, it's got to go through there now. And that should then push in fully. Now you see that clamps that. Now people are saying that this clamp fails. So people are recommending, Tyler, that we put a little cable tie around here to keep that in. So let's zip that. Okay, so I'm going to put a cable tie around. Now apparently sometimes the actuators fail, but apparently sometimes the clips fail as well. I've seen some bloke put like 8 cable ties around, which I feel is a little excessive, but I think that'll keep that in, won't it, Tyler? How is it looking from your angle there? Right, there we go. Right, so that's there, like that one there. Oh, gonna be tight. He's new, isn't he? Right, got that. Right, and then we'll put the new cover back on. Put the new shiny screws on. And then we should be back together in no time. Right, then if I can work out where that lines up. Starts at the front. Okay. Ah, yeah, we did do. Yeah, yeah, that was right. You're not wrong, Tyler. So yeah, you need to slide it over the cable and then up. That was the easier way, wasn't it? So half of that rubbery bit should be coming out the end. Yeah, there you go. Well done, Tyler. Right, I've lost my screws now. Right, we'll put the screws back in and join you in a second. Right, he is all good, new and fresh and in. Right, you've got to get that at that right angle there. He's sort of a pain to get in. That cable doesn't want... Ah, there you go. Tight, and then you've got to look where those screws are. Now the one slot, it's easier to find that slot first, and then the other one you can't quite see. Right, let me hold. I'm gonna hold it and tighten it, and make sure you get it in the groove. Go on, in you go. That's it. Yeah, quite tight. That thread lock's quite fierce on there, Tyler. Yeah. Right, even with my lovely air suspension, Tyler. Right, that's that. Now, right, don't forget to put the connector on, or you'll never get in your car again. Pressy bit at the bottom. Listen for it to click. No click. Try and pull it off. No, it ain't pulling off, so it's gone. Right. Right, we are now going to painstakingly remove this adhesive. We might use the adhesive removal wheel for that. Right, we'll remove this and then come and stick the new cover on. Right, one little tool you can use is this rubber adhesive removal wheel, which is just like a big pencil eraser on a stick. And you can just go on it like this. And you can see it starts to remove all that. It doesn't, it's leaving a lot of the adhesive residue, but that doesn't matter. As long as we get it flat, we can stick the new cover on. Right, there it is. That's as clean as we've got it. We could spend a bit more time and some solvent, but actually the stickiness is going to help this new one stick. What do they call it, Tyler? They call it a shield water splash. A water splash. So if you're going to a splashing water park. Right, I can't remember how much they are. I think they're about £15 from Land Rover, these. But this is, I don't think a lot of people will do this bit. This is optional. This is only if you're professional you need to do this. Right, we've got a... Oh. Right, now how are we going to do this with... Sorry? We have got the dents, haven't we? It should be right. It should be clear of that. I shouldn't need to... No, I think. So Oh, I'm trying to work out why it's leaving holes, Tyler, but I guess that's for the retaining clips to go in, is it? Look at that. That is, we are splash proof now, Tyler. Give that a little caress and a massage. Obviously, make sure you plug that connector in before you stick that on. Right, we're all ready for the next bit, aren't we, Tyler? Carpet back on, isn't it?
Yeah, put it back together.
Now, before you actually do the final thing, you will need to check that it is all right. Let's get this lined up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right, so you should be able to still see those screws. You should have a little gap along there, and then it's clip that on. Is that all good? That all looks good, doesn't it? Right, and then we've got to fire our little retainery bits back in. I won't make you watch all of this. That's a bit fiddly. We got it. Don't cross thread that. Make sure you do it a few turns by hand before you get wielding any force on it. Because they were quite loose when we took them off originally, weren't they, Tyler? So you should be able to get it on a few turns by hand. Brush. A few turns by hand. Right, here we go. Let's have a look now. So we're all now. Obviously, we haven't. This lock only relates to this bit. Now, one tip: before you go locking it, you can use a screwdriver. Where's our screwdriver, Tyler? You can use a screwdriver to lock or to emulate locking the door, can't you, Tyler?
Yeah.
So you can bring that down. I think it wasn't fully open, but let's. Ooh, can I get that to go back? There you go. Get that to go back. You got a picture of that, Tyler? Right. And then we should better use the remote control. Who's got the remote? And let's see if that. So it now thinks the door. So it now thinks this little rod here. We emulated that has gone in. It thinks it's all slid and trapped in there. And then let's have a look. We press the unlock. Oh, it hasn't fully ejected, has it? Right.
It might be some of the pressure
from the gate, the tailgate, but it's definitely activating of sorts, isn't it? Let's try it again. Here you go. We've got a little double release there, but let's check if that works. Well, that is all new. I mean, where's our light? Don't leave your light on the top. Right, here we go. We haven't put the top trim on, and we haven't tightened up those, but let's have a quick check. There. I think the second go does when you do that, Tyler. It's a two-stage thing. I think that is only supposed to do one stage. I don't think you can open it. I think the second stage is you have to press this button here to open the second stage. So it's a two-stage. So as long as when you emulate that, you get it moving the first stage, I think you're all right. You'd have to just press the button again to get the two stages. Let me just say that again. I'm learning something myself, Tyler. We hadn't worked that out, had we? So I think you can do one. Yeah, so you can do two presses of the tailgate button, I think. Yeah. Right. So put that together, put your trim back on, line your things up, and you're done. It's worth doing. This car is 16 years old, and it's had its original actuator, as far as I know, on. So we've put a genuine one on, a little more expensive than the copy ones, but if that does me another 16 years, I'm happy. Right, two things to mention. So if you want to open your tailgate from inside because you use it for camping, we do a little manual release that you can insert here, and I'll put the video, if I remember, up there about that product. Right, the second thing, if your actuator plays up, if it fails and your tailgate is closed, you are in a whole world of poop and misery. And the only way you can get to it is because you've got this trim on and this is locked. You've got to get in here, rip behind here, and do the same job, but from in the car. We are going to do a video on that. We are going to trap ourselves in here, and we are going to do another video, so look out for that, of if your actuator has failed and you cannot in any way open your tailgate, how to do that. That's our next video, isn't it, Tyler? Yeah. And it's tricky. So you're best off doing this before it fails completely. So there you go. Good luck with that.